Alrighty, so this is actually take 3 of this because I said something terrible in take 1, and we all know I don't fucking edit. Then in take 2, I forget what the fuck happened in take 2. This is why, children, you don't drink and vlog at the same time. Oh shit. Strawberry almost slid down my throat. That's all I need to be choking to death. My husband made, if I know you guys don't watch my video game vlogs because that's what I did earlier, so I just didn't. And he made these sangria. Now, granted, this sangria wasn't nearly as delicious. It's delicious, but it's not as delicious as that sangria he made last night with that Italian fucking frizzy wine. But because as you know, I can't have anything frizzy. But he let the frizz settle out of it. It was so delicious. This is good, but this isn't that Italian wine good. It will never be that Italian wine good. I gotta get more of that. That was the stuff of dreams and wonder. So, for take 3, let's try to keep this under 20 minutes because I gotta check on my food. In fact, let me check on my food because I was cooking. I took my apron down, but I was cooking, and let me check on my food to make sure it's not burning. So I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I wanted to make sure my dinner didn't burn. So, okay. So, let's get to the crux of what happened last night. Last night I was coloring. Yay! You see this? This was a cool little thing somebody had up on Facebook. Jesus, it was. I was thinking when I was coloring, because I saved these. There's like 3 of them, but I think this one is my favorite one. I have another one sitting on the kitchen table. They had these up, these little blank slate things, and I was like, oh, I can use these to color. And they should come out with a Lolita coloring book. Like any of the major Lolita brands, even Taobao, should come out with a Lolita coloring book. People would appreciate that, and Lord knows I would probably buy 2 of them, 2 or 3 of them, maybe 4, because I don't like uneven numbers. But yeah. So I was coloring last night because my husband wanted to hang out, sorta, with me, but he was watching television and watching some movie with our roommate, and I'm not really big into movies. I'm very particular about the movies I like. I either like really bad movies, really crazy movies, documentaries, or like really kind of deep-ish movies. But that's not what this is about. So, as I was as I'm coloring and like listening to music and stuff, I'm like also kind of playing on my phone. And as I was playing on my phone, I found a Reddit thread, and somebody was like, what do you guys think of Ero Lolita? Ero Lolita, if you're not initiated, Ero Lolita is a very small, very niche subgenre of the Lolita fashion. Think like niche subgenre. Wasn't there like a country Lolita going around like in the early 2000s? I think so, or I should say like the middle 2000s. So you had like country Lolita, like pirate Lolita. There was also Ero Lolita, which is supposed to be erotic Lolita, which mostly consisted of people wearing corsets and bloomers and like, stuff like that. And it would more go to the gothic aesthetic, but somebody was like, what do you guys think of Ero Lolita? So this is under the best comments under this is on Reddit. This is on their Lolita tag. So this is what she said. And please bear in mind, I've read this now 3 times, so please just be kind. If it's not executed perfectly, then it is a complete disaster. I can count the number of good chords I've seen in 3 years on 2 fingers. Ero Lolita to me takes inspiration from the courtesans of post-industrial revolution Europe. Sexy and alluring for sure, since they were sex workers, but also retaining class etiquette and a perfectly calculated amount of elegance and mystery, which fits within the Lolita fashion really well. especially the Gothic and Gothic inspired chords. The balance is difficult in the extremes to perfect. It's like Wa Lolita. One wrong move and the whole thing goes to shit. Um, every element of the chord, hair, makeup, even the photo, must be kept under tight control. So, there's a couple things about Ero Lolita. The first, and I'm going to address this thing first, my understanding of why Lolitas shy away and or shun Ero Lolita as a whole. Um, we as a Lolita community already have the rawest end of the fashion stick humanly possible. Our name by default puts us in a negative light. It already puts us, by saying we're into Lolita, in the mind of people who are not familiar with the fashion. If you say Lolita, they're instantly gonna go to that awful stupid book. And and as much as we try to tell them, this is why I tell people, don't get into the whole rich Japanese fashion. Just say, it's how I always explain it is, when people look at me sideways for saying Lolita, I'm like, it doesn't really have to do with, it doesn't have anything to do with the book. Not really, but it doesn't have anything to do with the book. We just get up, get dressed up in our nice, lovely clothes, and we go to tea. And I was like, if you put it in that connotation, think kind of like a book club, but instead of discussing books, we wear pretty dresses and hang out and drink tea. And actually, that actually helps people understand the fashion a wee bit better than saying, oh, we're Lolita, we're a Japanese fashion. Because I'm sure in a lot of people's minds, too, like, you say Japanese anything, and their mind just goes to, like, isn't that like a group of perverts? And, like, it's not everybody. It's not always everybody. It's just, like, a subset of people. It's just whatever. But just tell people it's just, like, instead of books, we focus on our clothing aesthetic. That's always the easiest way. And people actually like it when you explain it to them that way. So, but steering back to Ero Lolita, I understand why people, we already get a lot of shit. We already get randos that come into our community expecting salacious, disgusting, sexual, hypersexualized behavior, i.e., dressing in as little, quote, little girls. We get a lot of the daddy daughter bullshit that's not ours, that's not our shtick, that's not our bag. We get a lot of this fuckery that goes on. And while I do not disparage anybody and their kink and what they need to get together, I don't want to see that in my community because it's not anything anybody asked for. So I understand the overwhelming desire to say no, don't do it. But I can't, that Aquarian in me just can't be like, well, we shouldn't not do something because we're looked at negatively anyway. There's always a way to take something that is deemed a negative, except for extreme cases, i.e., rape, incest, murder. Except for those three and robbery, except for those four things, there's always a way to take something and turn it into something really not as gross. So I wanted to be the one to undertake this. I want to be the one to do, instead of, because it always is kind of Gothic Ero Lolita. It's always a black corset and black bloomers and like it's just always this monochromatic thing. And granted, probably what I'm going to do will probably be very monochromatic, but I want to take Ero Lolita and bring it into a classic subset because I am a classic Lolita. I like the classic look. I have always been into Innocent World, I think, is deemed as classic. Mary Magdalene, which, can anybody answer the question to me? Is Mary Magdalene out of business or what? Because somebody had, not the side note, but somebody had posted recently that Mary Magdalene had closed, but the last time they had updated was something about they were going to have a dress made back in this summer of this year. I think July of this year, they were trying to have a dress manufactured. They had all the pre-orders they were going to take, and then something went sideways with the pre-order, so they had to give everybody their money back. So If somebody can answer me whether or not Mary Magdalene is still in existence or not, because I've heard that they're gone, but then when I looked on their website, they were still, as of July of 2019, still active. So I don't know what's going on there, but I've always liked Mary Magdalene, Victorian Maiden, Innocent World. They're like typical classic brands, and Millefleurs. So I want to take that arrowness and take it out of the gothic subset and bring it into the classic. Now, with that being said, there is on AliExpress, and I know I shouldn't be going on AliExpress for anything, but this robe on AliExpress, I just get such classic Lolita vibes from. And I really been wanting this robe because it's really lovely. It's really fluffy. It's so fluffy. Look how fluffy it is. And it's just so fluffy and pretty. I think I could parlay that into a very lovely classic Ero Lolita look. Probably pair it with like a really nice like bra and corset set, because, or not bra and corset, bra and panty set. Because for me, how I've always chosen to look at Ero Lolita is we're all Ero Lolitas before we throw our dresses on. Like, pretty much, let's go from the bottom up. Let's go from the ground up. We're wearing a bra and underwear. Then we have on tights or knee-high socks. Or, depending on how cold it is wherever you are, you might be wearing both. But then you have on an underskirt underneath that. And then, you have, before you get to the underskirt, you have on bloomers. And then, actually, you have your tights, then your tights and or socks, bloomers, underskirt, blouse, JSK, or if you're wearing a one piece, just throwing the one piece on. You may or may not have a cardigan over that. And you have your coat. Since it's winter, your earmuffs. You're just layered to fuck all. So, before we put on all of that regalia, you gotta start from somewhere after you get out the shower. So why not start with a bra and panties? So I want to undertake a Ero Lolita look. And here's the thing about this. I am willing to undertake this because I wanted to branch, even though I didn't mention this, I've been wanting kind of to branch out of just doing classic Lolita. I wanted to take fashion risks. Not crazy fashion risk, although you can consider this a crazy fashion risk. But I've been wanting to take a little more fashion risks. So I would love to try to get it into OG this year, but I don't know if I can manage that. But I am willing to try to do the classic Ero Lolita to see if I can make it work. My husband just bought me a new camera. Let's show you this for the third fucking time. See that? That's my new camera. So we'll start working with that in the next couple weeks next year. So I'm sure that thing takes stills. So if I can take really nice stills of myself in Ero Lolita, I really want this robe, but this robe is $160. So I might find something comparable to it to make it work. But I really want to undertake that as something I want to do. With that being said, I am going to admit something to you all that I would never normally admit to anyone but my husband. But I fucking hate the way my body looks right now. And I know, before you all get like, oh, don't be like that. Here's just some blunt honesty on my part. I had weight loss surgery. If you're new to this channel, I had weight loss surgery if you had met me this time in 2016, I was 264 pounds and I was a size 22. I am at present 100, I'll say 150, because I gained a lot of weight from drinking booze and eating pedophores all Christmas. So I probably gained about 10 pounds. So we'll just say I'm about, because I was 145 when my 2-year anniversary popped up. So we'll just say I'm 155 from all the booze and pedophores I've been eating and drinking. So, but there's still over 100 pounds, 110 pounds of weight loss. There's just naturally parts of my body, i.e. right here and down here and my tummy, that just look a hot fucking mess. I look literally like melted chocolate ice cream, and I am deeply, grossly ashamed of my body. And that's not to say that I understand it's not like a body dysmorphia thing. It's just what happens when you lose a lot of weight. Your body naturally is going to change, and my body naturally changed from the weight loss. So my body's pretty fucking bad. So for me to want to do this for you guys is that's gonna take a lot of bravery. And I don't face tune shit. I don't believe in face tuning. It is what it is. You like it or you don't. And I don't know. I will let you know if I undertake this. I will do my best to post those images on Instagram. But if I don't like them, I will tell you that I did it and just say they were too fucking egregious for human eyes to take a look at, and we're just gonna let this shit go. So, alright, but I would attempt to make the undertaking, but I still gotta I really want this robe. But they went $160. I've seen the reviews for this. It was not looking like 150 or 160 my fault dollars in robe. It was really looking like a good $60 in robe. Ooh, the black one's nice. Look at this black one. But I want it in white. So, but the red one's kind of spiffy too. That's the red one. That's the red one. But I wanted in white. But the reviews on this wasn't looking like $150 in robe. So I don't know. But I want to try to get that or something comparable to it to do my Ero Classic Lolita. So we will see what we can see. Now, moving on, because that was way longer than I anticipated. But I fucked up. So we're gonna switch gears to my I fucked up, but I redeemed my fuck up. So that's always fun. So as y'all know, I've been wanting 9 songs. What the fuck is it called? Butterfly Princess. And I was all about 9 songs, Butterfly fucking Princess. Hold up. What the fuck? Where are you? Why the fuck did you just leave me? Hold on. Now I gotta pause. Hold up. Alright, I fixed it. So, it was part of my fluffy, fantastic 2020 year that I wanted to accomplish. And I was even going to take the hit and order that joint from Lolita Wardrobe because I have history with Lolita Wardrobe. I know what they're about. I've ordered from them before. I know that I'm going to pay basically just ballpark it, $25 in shipping. But I know what I'm going to get. I know what to expect. I have my pre-expectations of them all together. So I was just going to take the hit and order Butterfly Princess. That is Butterfly Princess. And that's the dress that I said it came out last summer, but I was too fucking poor and couldn't order it. And they're reissuing it. So I ain't had the money before Christmas to order it because I wanted to make sure my husband had a nice Christmas, which he did, and I owe a shitload of money on fucking PayPal, but that's neither here nor there. He had a good Christmas, and that's what's important to me. So because I didn't have the cash, I had to wait until today when I knew I would be getting a little bit of cash. So I was going to order it and pay $100 basically and $80 for it. I go on fucking Lolita Wardrobe and I am greeted with a gray fucking bar that says sold out. I don't even know. So I was mad. I was sitting around mad like the fuck. But I wasn't mad too long. So here's what happened with this one. And why do all my Lolita things have to have a damn story attached to it? I don't know, but whatever. So here's what happened. A week before, not this week, but a week before Christmas, some girl on fucking Reddit, which I'm starting to love the shit out of Reddit. I don't post often on Reddit, but I love me some fucking Reddit. Some girl was like, anybody know what this dress is called? And I was like, somebody had posted and gave the Tailbell link. But then I posted, it's 9 songs, Butterfly Princess. And we had a nice little back and forth chat. So I remembered that post. So I went to the Tailbell link. The Tailbell link is still there. So I typed into my phone, Tailbell proxy service. And I came out with, who the fuck did I come out with? Tailbell Focus. I don't know a fucking thing about Tailbell Focus. But it was like one of the first ones after Benner, which I couldn't go to Benner, but because I fucked up with Benner too. There's a little story about that, but we'll get to that in a second. So I was like, Taobao Focus. They had like a good rep, and I was just like, fine, we'll just take Taobao Focus and just fuck it. So I ordered it and paid for it. Now here's the thing with these proxy services. I am not 100% certain if this was the 60 something fucking dollars. How much did I pay for this? Um, I don't know how much. I think it was 60 fucking dollars. There's no comments. I don't know. I think it was like, we'll just ballpark it and say 60 to $70. I think it was like 68. But either way, I paid whatever I paid to sight unfucking seen to these people. And they were like, yes, your pre-order. But here's the thing with these proxy services. If this is a pre-order, I might have to pay for the rest of it later. And then I might have to pay for the shipping to me. Because anytime you go through a Taobao proxy service, Benner, Taobao Focus, whoever the fuck, you always have to pay their service fee. And then you have to pay to ship it from them to you. So, and that was the thing I didn't understand when I went through Chinese Lolita updates when I ordered Royal Corgis back in the summer. I get that now. I understand. So I fucking paid for and ordered the joint. So it is officially on its way. Whenever the hell it's supposed to drop, I don't know. As for the Benner thing, what I thought I paid for was a JSK. It wasn't the JSK. I don't fucking know what I paid for. And now I'm stuck getting something that I don't know what the fuck I paid for, and I'm not getting my fluffy fucking dress. So what I need to do is probably contact them to see if they would be willing to change the order to the JSK, and I just pay whatever difference. So I'll have to get around and doing that. But God knows I gotta do that when I'm a lot more sober than I am right now. Because my dumb ass is not fucking sober. So that is all I have, and I only paused, I think, twice, but that is all I have for 2019, guys, and we will see. I have a new camera. I will try to get the Ero Lolita thing done. We will see what it all is talking later on, but that is all I have. Guys, have a safe, happy, prosperous, quiet, or whatever New Year's, because I'm going to spend tomorrow keeping my dog from jumping off the deep end of the pod, because it's gonna be fireworks central. So tomorrow for me is gonna be fucking wrecked. And but the rest of you guys have a safe and happy new year, and I will see y'all in 2020. Clear vision, which is something my dumb ass don't have. But yeah, so later.